In a world full of technology, where devices continuously develop, in a world with 7.4 billion people and 7.3 billion tech devices, we have been connected with the world in so many ways. After taking a survey from students aged 15 to 18 and students from 4 different schools, none of you have admitted being on the phone once in a day, but rather more than once. And from the time you are online, 55% of you have admitted seeing a food commercial at least once or twice every time you are online. Rather than online, about 63% of you have admitted to seeing an ad every time you watch TV. So, how many of you remember seeing this on your Twitter timeline? What about this on your Facebook timeline? And of course, ads like this right before a YouTube video that you are watching online. After taking a survey, 93% of the teens have been tempted to eat at a fast food restaurant after seeing an appealing image of the meal on an advertisement. Apart from my own research, researchers at the Yale Red Center for Food and Policy revealed fast food restaurants spend over $4.6 million in advertising, and every day teens saw at least 5 ads on food, and each one admitted to being tempted to consume the product. So, how does fast food advertisements affect the health and lifestyles of teenagers? Let's start off with this. The majority of the group, 77% of you, knew that chemicals are added to their foods to make them look good as their commercials. But in reality, do they even look good? And how does food look so delicious on commercials? Let's take a look.
Of retouching that we do to something, the less perfect it looks, but actually it looks more appetizing and more convincing. But just enhancing some color, taking out some of the little accents that might happen in preparation, which obviously doesn't show the product in its best possible light. Here you can definitely see that there's a size difference. The box that our sandwiches come in, keep the sandwiches warm, which creates a bit of a steam effect. And
oh yeah, we all know your burger really looks like this. And we all know that everyone complains about the burger later on because it doesn't look like how it usually should on commercials. So really, who's the fool? Us for drooling over aspects that aren't really healthy, nor are they naturally, well, good looking. But onto the important stuff. 53% of the group did not know much about how companies use research about your brain to help them. 53% of you also want to learn more about the subject. So, how do companies take advantage of us while being teens? Marketers invest millions to find out about brain activity. From such knowledge, they have found out teen minds have a phenomenal response to food logos and ads as compared to other products being sold. The prefrontal cortex is a part of the brain that controls inhibition, and since that part is not fully developed yet, teenagers have the most problem with controlling their urges. This makes them more susceptible to advertising. Therefore, teens try to satisfy their short-term urges rather than wait for long-term results, such as gaining good health by avoiding to eat out. What's scary is that neuromarketing is becoming popular, and more research about what attracts teenage minds is being done to manipulate youngsters into investing in a company's products, regardless of how negatively they might impact you. In addition to this, functional magnetic resonance imaging, EEG, and eye tracking technologies are now all tools being used to manipulate your mind. In a research conducted by CBC, scans of the teen minds were completed after 60 food logos were shown to them. Some included the Pepsi, Burger King, and Taco Bell logos, and of course, McDonald's. After the scans were taken, the pleasure centers of the brain lit up, and greater activation was shown in areas that proved self-control was lessened and hunger increased. Therefore proving bright colors and specific pictures shown in advertisements have an impact on the brain. But that's not all. So, how do ads affect our health? Firstly, ads provoke anxiety. Secondly, they encourage faster eating. And thirdly, they provoke depression. So let's read more about how our health is affected. But taking a break from the health, how does this affect the environment? On its own, Louisiana is an example of a place where 1,100 trees were cut down in order to make only 2 billboards visible from the highway. Because of these reasons, vegetation is often destroyed as billboards are put up. Trees are poisoned in order to make billboards more visible. This contributes not only to loss of habitation for the essential species, but causes soil erosion, chemical pollution, which results in a loss of biodiversity. Companies choose to advertise their food products while hundreds of species are killed or forced to change locations as their homes are now destroyed due to the installment of billboards. What they don't realize is the importance of each species, and slowly they are killing off populations. According to the U.S. General Accounting Office, just to make our mouths water, marketers use digital boards that take up 30 times more energy as compared to your household and 46 times more than a traditional billboard would. But how else are you being affected? Well, 78% of the people surveyed agreed to spend more money at a fast food place after seeing an ad. And 83% admitted to regretting how much money they spend at fast food restaurants. The University of Toronto revealed fast food advertisements cause people to spend money on instant satisfaction rather than saving for the future. Only 56% of teenagers from the age of 15 to 19 in Canada are employed, and out of 3 out of 10 have savings that are more than $100. Where does all that money go? University of Toronto also revealed households and neighborhoods with fast food advertisements and close-by restaurants have lower savings compared to those with fewer fast food areas. Researchers believe advertisements are also causing more and more individuals to spend money on junk. Research has shown that 1 out of 3 teens eat at a fast food restaurant daily. So what does that tell you? Majority of our money or our parents' money is given to fast food restaurants to make us unhealthy. A solution is clearly needed, so what is something that teenagers think should change? Clearly, after finding all of this out, a solution is needed. After the individuals who were surveyed found out about the effects of advertisements, 53% stated that the amount of advertisements need to decrease drastically, and 30% wanted ads to be banned after finding out such information. For those who believe ads should be banned, there is a food marketing workshop which monitors public health and ad and marketing. They are leaders in consumer protection, child development, and identify practices that lead to unhealthy lifestyles and diets for teens. They are a new organization that ban ads which provoke extreme unhealthy diets. For those who believe ads should significantly be decreased, ad blocker is the way to go. While browsing on a site, pop-ups of fast food will no longer pop up to tempt you. Download apps on your devices such as Lions and Adblocker Plus to avoid running into temptations that you know you can fight. Through the survey, the majority of the group had admitted that if advertisements no longer existed, they would probably be less tempted to buy fast foods and therefore spend less on eating out and choose a healthier meal to consume. Over the course of an hour, many students favorited tweets on Twitter which showed how aware they had become about the negative impacts of fast food advertisements. So, know that advertisements is a factor that causes you to make unhealthy choices. Don't let it affect you. Be smart and fight your temptations.